I'm here with Brad Sage, longtime resident of Dunsmuir. And Brad, I was looking on the internet in 2008 and I came across an article on wunderground.com regarding your encounters, your experiences after Thanksgiving of 2008. And I'd like to know, can you share that experience with us today?
Well, time's passed a bit, but I can recall certain elements of it that were quite interesting at the time. My daughter and I had spent a Thanksgiving here, and we decided to do some hiking to walk off some of the excess calories, and we walked up the Mossbury Falls, going down through Scarlet Way and walking up the railroad tracks. Then I said, well, let's go to see if we can go up to the waterworks up above the Mossbury Falls. I've never been there, even though I've been coming to Dunsmuir for the better part of 72 years. Never been up there. And I was curious because my relatives who came into town in 1888 acquired the rights up there and ultimately the property, as I understand it, and started the first water system in town. So I had heard that there was a cave up there where the city water came from, but no other details. And so I worked my way up there. My daughter and I worked our ways up there. And lo and behold, we found a basalt wall, old lava, and some tunnels that had been covered with doors going back into the hills, or into the side of the hill, and it was clearly developed as a waterworks, and it tied in with some of the stories I'd heard from the family about how it had been developed around the turn of the century. And it was about sunset, or actually past that. It was getting dark, and I had taken a couple of pictures of the doors that formed the water source, and we were then concerned about getting out of there because we went in, let's say, off trail and without specific permission, and we had understood that that was a closed area, but I was compelled to look at it because of the family ties. So we took some photographs, which are the ones I put on Weather Underground, along with a series of other photographs I had taken at Dunsmuir. And we were just preparing to leave, and when this person came on the scene from I don't know where, and dressed in I'll say a white robe, and with a white hair and a beard, and started speaking to us. And we're a little bit surprised that this suddenly appeared. We're not sure where the individual came from, and he asked what we were doing there, and I said we were just exploring the old family waterworks. And he said in a British, had a slight English accent, British accent, and he said that you may be looking at the doors that go into the hidden city of Telos. And I had heard a little bit about that story and here in the past, and some of the lore, and read a few of the books that scanned a few of the books that had discussed this, and so I was quite intrigued at that point, and wanted to go further with the conversation. However, he really said, well, what you see here you shouldn't reveal to anyone, and suggested that we leave the area. And it was just a relatively short instant of time that took place. And as I say, it was right at sunset. I had second thoughts later on about I should have just whipped out the same camera I took the earlier photographs with and taken a picture of the individual, but I did not. So that was the essence of it. There was no in-depth discussion of telos or anything like that. It was just his statement that those doors are or could be the entrance to this hidden city.
Interesting story. Now, this individual in this white robe, can you describe him? Was he tall? Was he?
He was tall, and as I say, he had a British accent, and there was a long flowing kind of robe. I couldn't see what kind of footwear he had on, and again, I'm not sure where he appeared from, whether he was walking behind us or came through the tree, down out through the trees, or what.
Did he startle you when you first happened upon you?
Yes, so we were startled because it was all alone and getting dark, and as I say, or at least I was concerned that we were in an area where at least the city wouldn't like us around the water system, and maybe the other folks in the area there wouldn't like us there either. So
now, his sudden disappearance, did he just walk around the corner, or he just vanish in thin air? I mean, how
we turned to head out of there, and we looked back, and he was behind us at the time, and we looked back, and he was no longer there. So, where he went, I'm not sure.
So, did that make you curious that that all of a sudden here and now he's gone? I mean,
very curious. And obviously, I was curious enough to put in a brief writing on the annotation to the photographs that we took of those doors that lead back into the basalt cliff.
Yeah, after reading what your note about that, and then looking at the unusual, strange rock formation, because it is highly unusual in itself. After seeing your photos posted on the internet regarding that rock basalt formation, it looked like, for me, an Indiana Jones movie. Would that be a good description of those doors?
Yes, it's that whole area there, specifically just in that concentrated area, Hedge Creek Falls, and that area above the Mossbrae Falls, where the doors are, there's a unique basalt formation with vertical stone, and yet these tunnels go back into that stone. How they went horizontally in there when you had all these vertical rock faces is very intriguing.
Now, the Van Fossen family, which you are related to, yes, owned the property, and they built that water system that supplies the water to Dunsmuir.
Yes,
that
they
correct?
were one of the pioneers there, as they were pioneers here in the town.
Did you ever hear anything from your relatives about strange things about this lava tubes coming out supplying the water?
No, nothing. Nothing that I can recall. During my lifetime, there was only one relative that was still alive, and and she had many other tales of town, but none about the area here, but none specifically related to that.